feel as though you got a bit of a taste of what it's like to be an opposition player for him?
Yeah, no, it's definitely nice to go against a guy like that in practice every day. He's going to make you better. There's not a lot of guys that are quicker and can get a shot off and create separation quite like him. So if you're able to try to contain him and defend him as best you can, you're going to be able to defend a lot of people in this league. So it can be frustrating when he's making a lot of shots, but you're getting better. So it's part of it.
A few games now for the Wildcats. What have you made of the competition, the NBL competition?
Yeah, I think the league top to bottom is very competitive. I don't think you can go in on any given night and take a night off. I think you can lose to anybody and on any given night and beat anybody on any given night. So, not too many games. There's only 30-something games in the whole season, so every game is important, and especially early on in the season, you kind of want to get started on the right track. So we got some making up to do, but we're stacking a lot of good days in practice, so I think it's going to carry over.
How's the body feeling with the Achilles? Is that 100% right, or is it something you're going to have to manage throughout the season?
It's doing well right now, and since our last game in Cairns, it's responded well. Just kind of flare up, being a basketball player, you're going to have some type of that stuff, tendons flaring up. Glad I got it under control. It's been feeling good the past 5 or 6 days so far. So hopefully just continue to do the little things and rehab and strengthening stuff to kind of keep that in the rearview mirror. But feeling good.
Is that grumbly for a while, or did it just suddenly come upon you?
It's kind of suddenly came up. Obviously, had the ankle injury earlier in the season, coming into preseason, and I was on the same side. So just had kind of after that game against Sydney, our second game at home, played a 30-something minutes. That was my first game playing that many minutes. So just kind of, stuff like that can happen. Just kind of flared up overnight, and just had to take some medication, do some strengthening stuff, try to get the inflammation to come down. And, now we're right back where we were.
You've done some crazy travelling over your time. I would have thought in the NBA with their schedule, you're going to do something pretty wild this weekend. Like the trip to New Zealand and back in such a short amount of time. Where will that sit in the realms of craziness you've done with flights?
Yeah, it's up there for sure. It's more than I've had to do for the NBA. The furthest you have to go from coast to coast in the States is 4 or 5 hours max, and that's obviously the accommodations in the NBA are a little better. You're on charter flights, you're getting right on the plane, getting right off the plane, going straight to the hotel. So even if you're going coast to coast, it's really only 5-6 hours total. Going from here to New Zealand, you have 2 5-hour flights, all days in the airports, time change. You're on commercial flights, smaller spaces you're sitting in, so all that comes with it. So definitely the travel in the NBL is tough, but obviously being in Perth makes it a lot tougher than what most teams go through.
What have you been told so far about how to prepare for the trip? And I've been told you're staying on Perth time to try to accommodate for it. What other things are you aware of that you'd be doing to try to prepare for that game?
Just making sure we're figuring out our sleep schedules. Like you said, I think we're going to try to stay on per time body clock wise. So we get there, the time's going to be a little funky, but just try to listen to them, but try to stay on per time in terms of getting to bed when we arrive in New Zealand. Waking up, it's going to be a little later, but just trying to stay on our routine and get good sleep. Obviously stay hydrated when you got 2 long flights like that. Is key, so just the little things.
You did the Tassie trip and done the Cairns trip, which have been unique. This is your 3rd in a row where it's not easy to get to. Has that given you a bit of an idea about how to prepare for it, given it's like totally different to what you're accustomed to with the NBA when you get on a plane?
Yeah. I experienced some of it with the G League. Obviously, you're on commercial flights with the G League as well. But just the distance you're going is a lot further. Going from Tassie to Cairns, back to Sydney, back to Perth, and then a week later all the way over to New Zealand. It's a tough part of the schedule. You wish they could schedule teams a little closer. Tassie and New Zealand, maybe Cairns, Brisbane would be nicer, but it's part of it. You got to deal with it, and we just got to keep rolling. Hopefully, don't let that affect us too much, and just try to focus on the basketball asset.
Have you had a bit of a chance to take a little bit of a break as they've had a pretty hot start, and then also been playing a couple of the NBA teams as well? Have you had much of a look at them?
We started to watch a little bit of film this week. Obviously, we played them in the Blitz, and I was able to play in that game, so got a little bit familiar with some of their personnel, and then obviously coaches are we're just watching a lot of film and trying to get used to their style of play, what we're going to do against them schematically, and other than that, haven't gotten too much into them.
Nice to have Keanu back.
Oh, of course, yeah. A guy like that, he brings a lot of energy for us in practice and obviously games. we need as many bodies as we can right now.
Just seeing him back out there looks like really healthy, which is important when you're coming off concussion. Was it nice to see that he was able to recover from that quite quickly?
Yeah, no, it's great to see. Obviously, I think the training staff did a good job. That's something you don't really want to play with. It's like I said, it's early on in the season. You want to make sure you get right. If it takes sitting out 1 game, 2 games, whatever it is, we want Keanu for the whole season and in the playoffs. So we don't want this lingering around. And like you said, he's gotten over it. Training staff did a good job with his rehab and getting him back on the court. And looks like he's right up to speed in practice today.